Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Is my audio actually really bad?
I don't know. It's just not as good as your microphone one because it's your AirPod one.
Yes,
right.
Fine. Sweet. Can we start?
We have started.
No.
This is the intro.
It's not. I'm not doing the intro. I'm doing the end.
You're not doing the intro. You're doing it right now. What are you talking about?
Oh.
You saying I'm not doing the intro as part of the intro now?
Yeah.
Oh, first. Okay.
You know we're not doing a new film next week or next episode.
Why?
Because Nope got delayed, so there's not really any worthwhile new film next week.
Oh,
So
why have they delayed Nope and Bullet Train now?
Yeah, I don't know. So instead, we're just gonna do Top Gun just because we didn't do it. As in Top Gun Maverick. Just might as well. Still, it's still like gets bigger numbers than like every film except for Thor at the moment. So might as well.
Yeah, might as well. Why not?
Could do.
Could do. Might be a bit pointless.
The head-to-head. The bishop's wife versus the preacher's wife. The bishop's wife. A debonair angel comes to Earth to help an Episcopalian. Wow. I should have looked at that word beforehand. Episcopalian bishop and his wife in their quest to raise money for the new church. Ross, I hadn't seen this. You hadn't seen this. I think this must be the oldest film we've ever done. I don't think we've ever done a film before like New Hollywood. I feel like the earliest we've done is like the 1970s. Late, yeah. But yeah. Bishop's wife.
Citizen Kane, we did that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we did that. Yeah. What do you think of the bishop's wife, Ross?
Yeah. The thing is, I'd say like it feels, because obviously its age, it feels more original, but it's it kind of feels like It's a Wonderful Life. It's the same kind of vibe as well. Just kind of the angel coming to help. Someone not as broken as he is in A Wonderful Life, considering he wants to kill himself there, but a man who's very much struggling, and his wife deserves a lot better. And I think it's an interesting story between like the angel kind of actually falling for this woman whilst he's meant to be helping the man, but in turn that helps him realizing how much of a great woman she is, kind of helps everyone. And he also helps the reverend kind of realize as well, and realize what he's got, and kind of appreciate life more. And I think it's quite a cute watch, and quite like a it's nice vibe just seeing everyone enjoy their life more because of this man and what he's doing. It's hard to know where the film goes wrong, really, because it is a good movie. It's just I just don't know. There's something about it which doesn't quite hit right, but not right, but like it doesn't quite hit, I think. But it's it's an enjoyable watch.
My perception of the film is colored a bit by it was just so fucking hot today. So I watched both of them today. The first one I tried to watch it in my room, the top floor, so it was just baking, and it was making me like start to hallucinate. Then the Wi-Fi started to go, so I went downstairs and watched it in the kitchen where it's a bit cooler for the last like 25-30 minutes. I don't like breaking up my film like that. So yeah, I was like dozing because of how hot it was. I was like dozing off at certain points. So it just wasn't a great viewing experience. And trying to distance that from the actual film itself, which I thought was solid. I thought as like a fantasy film, there was definitely a magic to it, and a magic to the cinematography and everything about it, the way the camera moves and things, and Cary Grant's performance. That was one of the reasons I wanted to do it. I'm trying to get through as many of his films. He's like my favorite. As like an old Hollywood movie star, he's my favorite by some distance. So I want to make my way through more and more of his films. And yeah, as like a fantasy that also dips into rom-com, like old school kind of rom-com territory as well, like you say, with the angel kind of falling for the bishop's wife. There's the title way, and so it was enjoyable. It's a solid way to spend hour 50 minutes. I thought maybe 15 minutes too long, maybe in certain stretches could have wrapped it up a bit sooner. But overall, it's a solid film. Like you say, yeah, it's kind of missing a certain power to it. Kind of reminds me of when we did Lincoln. It's like, oh yeah, this is all very like assured filmmaking, all good, no real complaints, but it didn't hit the soul quite as much as I wanted it to. Let's move on to The Preacher's Wife, a remake. One of the examples of Hollywood remaking films with an all-black cast. The Preacher's Wife. An angel comes to earth to help a preacher save his church and his family. Here we got Denzel instead of Cary Grant as the angel. We got Whitney Houston. That was the main reason I wanted to watch this one, as well as being a remake. So Denzel, Whitney Houston, maybe two of the top 10 like black popular culture figures of all time, maybe even top 5. So seeing them in a film. Whitney Houston just has like a very, like we talked about, we did The Bodyguard, didn't we? I'm pretty sure we did. Like, yeah, just her like magnetism, even if she's not like a great actor, just like her charisma always like is able to shine through on screen. So I was excited to see it. And I thought it was pretty decent. Like, as remakes go, I thought it ticked a lot of boxes, expanded the story in some different ways, obviously delving into more of the African American experience, different classes as well. Ross, what do you think of the Preacher's Wife?
Yeah, I mean, story-wise, it's basically like a carbon copy, but it adds just like a few more things. I mean, I wasn't expecting much from it because the ratings for this one, like it's got a 5.6 on IMDb, which is probably just a bit racist or something, because it's not that bad. It's really not that bad, and like it's enjoyable performances, enjoyable story. You know, I think this one, what they did with Dudley as well, and they like Denzel Washington playing him, but they made him a bit more flawed, because I think Dudley in the Bishop's Wife just feels very like pristine and cannot put a foot wrong wherever, and kind of whereas Dudley in this one with Denzel Washington, it kind of he annoys more people, I think, and he realizes that he makes mistakes as well, and he kind of goes on a journey too. Which I think is more interesting in certain ways, and yeah, there's apart from that, it's pretty much the same. And I think the performances in this are enjoyable as well. I mean, Whitney Houston, she does fun in it, and the Reverend is good in it as well. And there's it's hard to know what to say is too different about this one, but it's definitely not as bad as reviews and critics say.
Have we done like 2 remakes, like the original and a remake in the head-to-head before? I feel like do we do that for something?
I can't think when we maybe I feel like we have, but I can't think.
In my head, I feel like we've had like going through the categories where it's like the same thing. I feel like there's something. Maybe it was just the original and a sequel. I don't know. But saying that, let's move into the categories. Performances. I think it's across the board. It's like a higher caliber of performance, I think, in The Bishop's Wife from the guy. I can't remember the names of the other 2 actors other than Cary Grant, but like the Reverend and his wife. There's something a bit more refined about it. Whereas The Preacher's Wife, in many ways, I find it more enjoyable because it's a bit more loose and a bit more exciting. And it's just it's ultimately it's like black. There's a bit the black people kind of vibe that they bring to it. There's a bit more attitude, a bit more pizzazz, I thought, in a modern setting as well. So you're inevitably going to get a different style of performance. So even in terms of quality, I think The Bishop's Wife might be, but I think I'm going to go for the Preacher's Wife. For there's a bit more variation, a bit more excitement in the performances, and I really do. Obviously Denzel's iconic movie star, iconic actor, and I just like his, like you say, he's a bit more devious than the way Cary Grant plays Dudley, and I don't know, there's a magnetism to his style of performance that I find very appealing. So I'm going to go for the Preacher's Wife performance. So it's funny that obviously they don't have as much from the kid's perspective in The Bishop's Wife, because he's kind of like the framing device of it. He's the one telling this story. He's the only one who remembers Dudley. He has like his little narration. For the kid's voice was like, I don't know if that was his actual voice. It sounded like he was a kid trying to be like extra cute with his voice. There was something funny about it. Like, it didn't sound like an actual. I don't know how old he's going to be, maybe like 6 or 7. And also, his like little friendship with Hakeem. That's very cute as well, and how they get reunited. Yeah, shout out to Jeremiah and Hakeem. But yeah, I'm going for Preacher's Wife. What about you, Ross?
Yes, this one's quite hard because I mean, for the reason you said, it's about like kind of there's a the preacher's wife. I think they've done well to, although the story's like very very similar, the characters themselves they've changed up quite a lot, and I think yeah, like Denzel, he hasn't copied Dudley whatsoever. He's made it his own thing, kind of. Although they're the same character, an angel being sent from heaven or whatever to help the Reverend. They're completely different versions of each other, and I think as Denzel's is more kind of flawed, and Cary Grant's is just so like pristine and kind of there's nothing really that exciting about him. He's just he's just a very charming man, whereas Denzel's charming, but on top of that, he is mischievous and whatnot. So I think in terms of the Dudley performance, I definitely prefer Denzel's, but it's hard to pick because overall, I think the Bishop's Wife does have stronger performances. I think I don't know any of their names, but the wife was really good. The husband's really good. There's the professor as well. I thought he was quite good in it, but yeah, I think just because the preacher's wife, they do have. I was say like Denzel's better, and he's the main focus of it. He's the main part of the film, and they do have their kind of own spins on the characters, and they're a bit more interesting, and they're less kind of just like perfect. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the preacher's wife as well.
1-0, Preacher's Wife story. Here's where, see, this is why I feel like I remember doing this like a original and a remake, because like we had to talk about the story and it was like the same story. But the Preacher's Wife, because it goes in like some different directions. I think that like I think the kind of sense of the church's importance to this community and what it means to the kids and what it means to the local people and everything like that. This idea of like gentrification, like luxury homes being built and taking away that sense of place. I thought all that stuff was pretty, not like the most amazing storytelling in the world, but I thought it was pretty effective, which is not, that wasn't conveyed in The Bishop's Wife to the same extent, kind of what it all meant to the local people. It was more focused on this kind of love triangle, sort of. Whereas The Preacher's Wife, I did feel that sense of community in the film. And also just the way Denzel and Whitney Houston interact. It feels like I feel like she was more tempted by him than the woman in The Bishop's Wife was tempted by Cary Grant. I feel like there's a bit more meat on that bone. So yeah, I'm going for Preacher's Wife for the story as well. What about you, Ross?
We did Karate Kid and the remake.
Oh yeah, see, that's what it was.
Yeah, I knew it was something. Okay, yeah. For the exact same reasons, I'm gonna go with the Preacher's Wife. There's just a bit more to it that is interesting. I think yeah, with the Bishop's Wife, she's never tempted by Dudley. Really, she's always you always get the vibe that although like Dudley's taken them out and obviously has a thing for her, she's always like just wants to be with the Reverend, and that's kind of thing. And yeah, I think because of Whitney Houston being more tempted by Dudley in the newer one, it makes the story like the relationship between the two of them a bit more interesting, I think. And yeah, and obviously everything with the kind of the flats being built and the kid going to prison, that kind of stuff. There's a bit more to it and a bit more I won't say stakes. I can't really think. I don't think that's the right word though. But yeah, there's a bit more to it, I think, for the Preacher's Wife. So I'm gonna go with that as well.
So The Preacher's Wife goes 2-0 up. So I feel like, not gonna lie, I reckon if I rewatch The Bishop's Wife in normal temperatures, maybe my opinion might shift a little bit. So right now I'm really, because I watched The Preacher's Wife in the living room, bit cooler, a bit more comfortable. might be informing my opinion on. But I do think it is it's worthy of nudging ahead in this particular head-to-head. Visual style, that is what I'm going to go for The Bishop's Wife, because I thought that was more definitely filmed. There's nothing too remarkable about the way The Preacher's Wife is filmed. It's pretty standard 90s kind of rom-com aesthetic, whereas you mentioned Citizen Kane as like the oldest film we've done. It's the same cinematographer as Citizen Kane, Greg Tolan, like kind of iconic black and white cinematographer. And there's some really cool stills in The Bishop's Wife. I like the way like the ice skating scene is filmed in that one, a bit more of a wide shot compared to what they do in The Preacher's Wife. And just the way the camera moves is a bit more elegant, a bit more romantic. I feel the kind of the majesty of the picture more than The Preacher's Wife, which feels a bit more disposable. So yeah, that is one where I'm gonna show my love to The Bishop's Wife. What are you saying for visual style?
Yeah, so I think again I'm gonna agree with you. It's I think at their hearts they're basically Christmas movies, and it just feels a bit more Christmassy in that sense. You know, as you say, the ice skating, they're going outside, and it's all really nice looking around that bit, and that bit's really nice. And around the house with the big Christmas tree, that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously both films have it, but there's just something which feels a bit more sleek, a bit more pristine about The Bishop's Wife's, the way it's shot, the way it's filmed, the way it feels, kind of the vibe I get when I watch it. And I think that's all, well, not all, but very much down to the cinematography and the way the sets and that kind of stuff. And yeah, so I think The Bishop's Wife is better in that sense. It's just a bit more like refined. The Preacher's Wife just kind of, there's nothing that feels that special about the way that is like shot, or the sets or anything like that. There's nothing that feels special about it, but The Bishop's Wife has a certain feel to it that I think The Preacher's Wife doesn't.
So that would be 2-1. Similarly for tone, next category. Again, The Bishop's Wife, it does feel, the dramatic elements feel more sustained and feel more like important. I feel like the kind of journey the bishop is going on, I feel like, yeah, like you kind of said, like the stakes of it feels more significant than in The Preacher's Wife. I'm still invested in the story in The Preacher's Wife and the characters, and I think the performances are solid. But like, obviously gave them the vote for performances. But I feel like it was just a bit sharper in The Bishop's Wife. Yeah, so I guess similar to the visual style, just all those kind of elements feed into a more kind of grander story, as The Preacher's Wife, again, a bit more disposable. So yeah, that gets my vote for tone. What do you think?
This one's, I think, one of the harder categories to pick. It's because they've both got kind of a certain tone to them. I think, The Bishop's Wife does feel, it's got like a kind of magic feel to it, and like a more, I don't know, like maybe playful kind of vibe that The Preacher's Wife doesn't, just because I think a lot of the stories The Preacher's Wife is trying to get across, it feels a little bit more serious in certain aspects, but also there's certain bits which don't feel as serious. So I think tonally it's not as it doesn't feel as sharp, I think, in The Preacher's Wife. So whereas The Bishop's Wife, there is kind of a certain vibe going through the whole thing, and I think the comedy in it as well, for a film that is that old, and like, when he stops in a chair, that kind of stuff, it's still like get a little chuckle out of it, like 80 years later. It's yeah, it just feels a bit more like sharp, feels a bit more kind of smooth, and it feels a bit more magical as well, I think, especially being like set around Christmas. That's the kind of vibe you want from these kind of movies. So yeah, I'll go with The Bishop's Wife as well.
2-2. Bishop's Wife pulls it back. I'm gonna have to repeat unique category. I'm repeating one I'm pretty sure we did. Might have been, did we do it last time? I don't know. But I'm just gonna do the music, because I think the music's key in different ways for both films. Bishop's Wife, it won the Oscar for best sound or whatever the category was called back then. And I thought that's like key level in terms of what we talked about in terms of the tone and the magic of it. Is the music is very key to that. It very much instructs you how to feel throughout the film and how in each individual scene, just kind of the romance of it and the magic of it and everything like that. So it's a very, very effective score. Whereas Preacher's Wife, they do the crucial thing. If you're going to hire Whitney Houston, get her singing as much as possible. That's like key part of her character. Obviously, she's like the lead in like the church choir. There's many instances where she gets to flex her vocals in different ways, different songs. I really like we talked about that, about mentioning the ice skating scene. I do, even though I prefer the way it's shot in The Bishop's Wife. The song, I can't remember what the song's called, but the song that's playing in The Preacher's Wife, Whitney Houston song, I thought that was very effective and good. Probably my favorite song of the film. I think that one. But there's several moments where you're like, okay, yeah, the power of her voice really transcends a lot of things. So that leaves me with a dilemma in terms of what I'm going to pick, and I'm not sure. So I'm going to wait and listen to what Ross has to say about the music for the unique category.
Yeah, I think. I mean, pretty much everything you said. Most of it. It's. I think when you have Whitney Houston in the film, you're always going to have the big vocal performances and whatnot, and actually the whole scene where it's just her on the microphone in that club. So I think that's a big part of that. But I think for me, the Bishop's Wife, the way it kind of adds to the full emotions of the film, and the way it does give it the more like magical aspects and the more magical feeling, and it just feels really, it makes the film even more like smooth and whatnot. So yeah, I think for me, obviously, yeah, I do really enjoy Whitney Houston and whatnot, but for me, The Bishop's Wife, I think sways it just because of the overall score and the kind of more consistency of the score as well. I think so. Yeah, Bishop's Wife.
I think you're probably right. It's like in The Preacher's Wife, like I said, The Bishop's Wife felt like a little bit too long. Preacher's Wife definitely was too long, like 25, 30 minutes. There was a lot of scenes that I think you could have slimmed down or cut. And by the end, when she's like giving her final, so like Denzel's on the steps outside, he delivers his sermon and then she sings. Like it's just, that's not really essential to the plot. It's more like, hey, let's just get Whitney Houston on the mic again. You'll forget any like flaws in the film if we just get her showing her voice. So I guess in that sense, it's like an extension. It's like superfluous to the film rather than essential to it, which The Bishop's Wife, like all the music in that is crucial to the success of the film. I think it probably has to go to The Bishop's Wife, which means from 2-0 down, 3-2 up, gets the win in the end. Original trumps the remake. I think I do prefer The Preacher's Wife overall though. Like I said, caveated by the fact that I was drowsy as I was watching The Bishop's Wife. But I think The Preacher's Wife, just the energy to it, and just let us like see Whitney Houston on screen. A real sad celebrity death. Like I think we pretty much probably talked about on the Bodyguard podcast, and also Denzel. Just it's a great presence on screen. But yeah, Bishop's Wife gets the win. Glad it didn't end in a draw, so we didn't have to do that nonsense from last time, trying to find an obscure movie ranking website for no particular reason. It wasn't funny, wasn't interesting, just wasted everyone's time. So we've avoided that. So yeah, great success. Bishop's Wife wins their head.
Right, so everyone knows
we don't need
the
rules. Yeah, we don't need them in force. Just get from one actor to another. The little rules you can. We'll talk about.
If you want to know the rules of Minnie Driver, find the first episode where we did it and listen to that.
Yeah, which is impossible because it doesn't even say like. Actually, to be fair, this isn't a description.
I mean, if you go on the description, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's look back for all of them.
But yeah, it's just get from one actor to the other in as few moves as possible. MCU counts double. I think motion capture counts for 3 points, 3 moves. Yeah, that's the main. And if you get a Minnie Driver link, if it's a film with Minnie Driver, that's a 0 link, so it doesn't count. That's why it's called Minnie Driver. But yeah, just get from one actor to another in a few moves. That's the most important thing. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah. All right. What should we go for then? Um,
My hand's sweating.
let's think. How about Logan Lerman?
All right. I don't know who he is.
Okay,
Mate, about to say.
Yeah.
Log.
Logan.
Logan Lerman.
Wait, how do you
Two.
spell
Clint Eastwood.
Fucking that'd be impossible.
No, it wouldn't.
The Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood's been making films for about 167 years.
Yeah, but how many films has he done in the last like?
Quite a lot. He
15
literally
years.
he doesn't feel like every year.
Quite
Yeah,
a lot,
but-
actually.
Okay, do you actually want to
And
do
they're in
that?
cinemas.
But I feel that's gonna be too hard.
The Mule made like $100 million, I'm pretty sure.
Wasn't that on Netflix? No,
Your mum was
that
on
wasn't.
Netflix. No, it wasn't.
Fuck off.
All right, give
Alright.
a different one then, Ross.
No, let's do it. If you're so
Alright.
confident, I want to see you get a zero links. Clint Eastwood. It's a great song, by the way.
But yeah.
Yeah, -1 for being really arrogant.
All
If
right,
you could include
90
a film that
seconds
has
for
the
the
Clint
first round.
Eastwood song on the soundtrack, you get 0 links as well.
I feel like there's
Yeah,
actually a
minus-
film.
Probably is.
How about if you can name a film where the song that the Gorillas are on the soundtrack, you get a -1.
Yeah, go on then.
Not
I
ready.
was gonna do that.
Have you two
Yeah.
have you started, May? The timer hasn't
I haven't,
started.
I haven't started.
You've named the people. I'm going to start.
Oh, you're not. That's no. You get
Right.
you have to finish like 10 seconds before us.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
All right, let's get the obvious things on the board straight away. Because yeah, kind of forgot how to play this. What I write down.
Finished.
Uh,
Take your 1 minute 16 seconds showing up your phalanges.
phalanges. How do you
Oh, I've actually done it.
Actually, so hot that I'm
suck
starting
your
to
mum?
drink so much water that I want to be sick.
Who do I want to fucking get to?
Although I've done it, but I can't remember the name of a film. So I've
Well-
got 50 seconds.
Well,
to
you haven't
think
done.
of the name.
Well, you haven't done it then.
No, I've done it. I've done it.
Leon's the one who's giving it the big shot and he can't do it, and Ross is the one who thought it was impossible and he's done it.
Could kill myself. Can't do it.
Yeah, I was like, that was actually really easy.
Yeah. How many links you get? Oh
Yeah,
no, we'll wait.
Leon, listen to me. You haven't done it yet.
No,
Leon,
it's hot. It's hot.
Leon,
Me and Matty did it.
can I ask you a question?
I said it'd be impossible.
You've got a gift for you. It's 10 links, 5 each.
Right, Matty, there's only 10 seconds to go, so you gotta put your pen down.
I can't. I give up. It's too hot.
do you mean?
I'll tell you what's
All right.
too-
How many links you get, May? Oh, fucking hell, that's loud.
We've got 3 films.
I've got 3 as well. Mine were Logan Lerman's in Fury with Brad Pitt, who's in 7 with Morgan Freeman, and Morgan Freeman's in Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood.
I did the same, but $1 Million Baby.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Would you
Me
get
and
there?
Matty get 3.
10.
Way,
Actually,
way. 10 links. 10 links.
They're the only links he's getting today, though. The rest of it's zeros.
Yeah, to be fair, you gotta be on it now.
Links Africa.
So wait, if they're in the same film as someone, does that count?
What?
If they're what?
If they're in the same link in the same film as someone as each other, like say if Logan Lerman was in the film with Clint Eastwood,
New rounds.
It's null and
rounds.
void.
would that be one
Doing-
link?
doing-
No, it's
No,
null
new
and void
rounds.
though. We have to restart the round.
Yeah, but what if no one realized?
No, that's the whole point. Like
What?
once we realize, once it's established they're in the same film, it's null and void. That's this in the rules.
Okay.
I don't make the rules.
I just make them up as I go along.
I don't make them. I just made them
Okay.
a while ago.
So we'll do Julia Roberts.
Who?
You
I
joking?
hate- Yeah, but they all look the same.
No, it
What do you mean
don't.
she's right there on the screen?
Yeah, I know, but she also looks like I don't know what she's been in.
She's literally like the most famous
Oh.
actress of the last 30 years.
That's just not true. I'll just take the L.
And then Woody Harrelson.
They must be in the same film, but I can't think right now. He has a raw vegan diet, Woody Harrison.
What does raw vegan mean?
Just like all just pure natural, no processed or anything.
He eats
Oh.
vegans.
Yeah.
Just
He's also in every film ever made.
yeah. That's a fact.
All right, we ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Start the clock. In 2007, I need to just work fast, not smart.
Oh, why can't I think of Julie Roberts?
Oh my god, I hate this game now. before it's hot. She's so hot.
Oh, motherfucker, I can't think.
Oh my god, what do I do? What do I do? This is fucked. Hold on. Oh wait, I got it.
Shut up, man.
Name me a Julie Roberts film.
Oh my god.
Gravity.
Is she actually in that?
No. See, it's hard to tell.
Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, we're cooking.
Are you saying she looks like Sandra Bullock? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
No, I fucked it.
All right.
I'm not
Here
gonna
we
get in
go, got
25
it. I
seconds.
think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
A big fat 10 link for me in this one.
Surely they've been in the same film, but let's not.
Oh, my pen ran out. I get an extra 5 seconds.
Pen run out, Shmen run out. Beep. You're done. I got
Yeah,
3.
fucked it. I got nothing. Nothing.
Nice.
Nothing.
Pens down.
Are you still writing then, mate?
Yeah, he was.
Didn't get it.
You bitch. Right, Leon, how'd you get it?
It's 'cause I didn't know.
Julia Roberts is in Closer with Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman's in Black Swan with Mila Kunis. Mila Kunis is in Friends with Benefits with Woody Harrelson. Yeah. Yeah, that is Julia Roberts.
Oh, is she in Ocean's 11?
Yeah.
Wow, there's definitely someone here that you can link her with.
No chance.
Moving on.
Well then, May, we both
Yeah.
got 10 then. That means everyone's on the same score now.
Oh yeah.
We're all on 13.
Well.
How the turntables.
All right. Fuck actresses, they're too hard. Right. We'll just do actors for this one. Robin Williams.
Gerard Butler.
Robin Williams to Gerald Butler.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
That sounds hard.
I actually haven't seen many Gerard Butler films.
Yeah, I can't think.
Oh
I'm
god, it's so
going to
hot.
fucking do this. All right, sweet. Well, I'll take the L already, but let's go.
Let's go.
What the fuck is Gerald Butler in?
Gerard Butler. Gerard.
He's one of them ones where he's like the ones he isn't. He's not the main character.
Like, oh, here we go. Here we can do that. We can do that. Move him around. Move that around.
Right, I've
So I'm
wasted the
trying
first
to-
30 seconds trying to think of Gerald Butler movie. That would actually link him because he's in like 300, but I can't think of anyone else that's in 300.
You get caught walking the doggy.
He's in that film with the president. Who's the president in that movie?
What?
Olympus Has Fallen.
Who's the president
the
in
president?
that movie?
Who's the president in Olympus Has Fallen?
Who's the president? I've never seen it.
What rom-com is he in?
I've got it. Oh, is that even the name of the film? Oh my god, we'll see. There's definitely a quicker way, but I've got one way. Surely I can get from him to her much more efficiently than that.
Okay.
Who else is in that film? He's in that. Surely.
Time's up, pens down.
All right, I got some links.
All right, what'd you get?
5.
Matty?
4, I think. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I think it might be wrong.
Oh my god, it was Morgan Freeman. I thought it was. I should just stuck with my guns.
Yeah, I said Gerard Butler. Wait, should I do mine?
Can do.
You go for it.
So I did Gerard Butler is in Olympus Has Fallen, and I guessed it was Morgan Freeman because they needed a black president, so they just went with the classic, you know. He was Jamie Foxx was obviously too old to do this, too young to do this iteration. Had to wait till White House Down, and then Morgan Freeman's in the bucket list with Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson's in Departed with Matt Damon, who's in Good Will Hunting with Robin Williams.
How many was that?
4.
Mad.
Thanks.
Ross.
Well, I got Gerard Butler might be in Olympus Has Fallen with Morgan Freeman. Turns out he is. Robin Williams is at Night in the Museum. There's loads of people in that, but I can't connect him. That's where I got to.
Okay.
There you go. Bob's your
I got
answer.
5.
I got 10.
It definitely could have been shorter, but Robin Williams is in Insomnia with Al Pacino. Al Pacino's in Heat with De Niro. De Niro's in Goodfellas with Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson's in Pulp Fiction with Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman's in Playing for Keeps with Gerard Butler. I think that's what the name of the film is.
Playing for
I don't know.
keeps.
Yeah.
You're right. Playing for keeps.
Wait, he plays like a former Scottish footballer who's now ESPN pundit and a coach or something. It's bad. Yeah, definitely could have done that shorter, but well, got that. It's just about getting links on the board. That's what you got to do.
All right, mate.
Yeah, okay.
Was that too early?
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
You're right, Jay. Yeah, I'm fine. So funny.
I'm fine.
Need to start doing that more. If I did that to Connor, like, you're right, Connor. Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine.
Anytime someone gets roasted, you're right. Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm also
Ross, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Morgan Freeman in the film together. Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to figure out how I could have done that, but it's fine. Well, Matty's gone, so we can't do the next round anyway. So it's just,
What's he doing?
I don't know. Matty. Matty. Matty.
I'm actually starving. Starving Marvin.
Well, as you just heard, I got dinner at 8, so.
Oh yeah. You're right, Jay. Yeah, I'm fine.
You're right, Jay. Yeah.
What's he doing?
How can I
It's
link
round
Morgan
4
Freeman
and then round
to
5 and then
Robin-
it's over.
How can you link Morgan Freeman to anyone from
What?
Not in the Museum? That's what I was trying to do. There must be someone.
God, it's too hot to think about that.
Stay in my arms. Even now you see me.
What? Have you stopped
Round
recording?
round 4.
Oh shit, sorry.
Had a phone call.
Oh fuck.
Shit excuse. Right. Next actors. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go with. Let's do Jim Carrey. Should we do Jim Carrey?
Yeah, go on.
I'm Jim Carrey. Yes, I'm the real Carrey.
I used to think Jim Carrey was married to Mariah Carey, even though their names spelled differently.
That'd be a weird couple.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Lily James.
That's the accent. Lily James.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it, go on.
Who?
Lily James.
Nah, who else?
Uh,
All right,
L James, LeBron James, Lily James.
Lauren James. Isn't that Reese James' sister?
Oh yeah,
Lauren James. Have you got started writing?
I haven't.
Matty, stop doing that. You got to stop when the timer starts. Fuck.
I'll try not to
All right.
think.
3, 2, 1.
All right. This is an interesting one. It's like such wildly different eras. Get caught walking your doggy. Don't make me close one more door. Because I don't want to hurt him anymore. Where do you go with this?
Jim Carrey's hard because again he's like the main character in those like everything.
Hold on. This must be. Hold on. Wait, surely. Oh my god! Surely she was
I've
in.
done it.
Oh my god! Surely she was in a fucking film with him. Oh my days. Where are we going?
I've done it.
Oh shit. Suck your mum. Trying to get to her. We've got further away now. This is it. This is done. This ain't happening. Thought I had it opening.
I don't know what to do with myself when I finish. Like, time to go. 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Ah, that beep's so loud. Right.
When the beep's
Did
so
you get it, Leon?
loud. Nah.
May?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I got it. Jim Carrey is in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind with Kate Winslet, who's in Titanic with Leonardo DiCaprio, who is in Don't Look Up with Meryl Streep, who is in Mamma Mia 2 with Lily James.
Oh my god. That's what I was trying to think of what film DiCaprio and Meryl Streep are in. That's what because I got
Don't
Jim
Look
Carrey
Up.
to Kate Winslet. Yeah, Jim Carrey to Kate Winslet to DiCaprio. And then I put DiCaprio to Meryl Streep and then Streep to Lily James. I just couldn't think of a film with DiCaprio and Streep. That's so annoying.
Oh, nice. All right, the last round is 2 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah. The money shot. It's not 30 seconds, Ross.
Mum's 30 seconds.
As you can
All right.
probably guess. I just need to eat some food. Imminently.
What about Swaris Ronan?
Soirees?
You
Soirees?
Saoirse Ronan? Swaris.
Yeah,
Go
go on.
Saoirse Ronan.
Could do Connor Ronan.
Ow. Sayers. Who's that?
I don't know who plays for now. He was in the Wolves Academy, I think. Attacking midfielder.
Swaris Ronan to
You thrill me. Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Pooper.
Sounds like it should
Right,
be
no,
easy.
right into the. Yeah, I feel like this can definitely be done. But let's see. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Right. Where do we want to go?
Well, the obvious one is to do.
Okay. Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it that way, haven't you? You've just got to do it that way. Because that just opens up a lot of avenues. Because you can then.
Wait, who are we going to? Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper. Yeah.
Started, didn't know where I was going.
He went in without a plan.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I need to focus.
Yeah, I've literally written down one thing.
It's got to be so many links in that film.
There's other people in that film.
Because he's in. Oh my god. Surely they've been in a film together. Oh my god. Oh my taste. How am I not getting this? This is bad.
I think it's two different like genres of actor. That's why it's quite hard.
I might just have to take a bit of an L here and just go.
Ooh, done it, boys.
You might just have to go MCU. You know,
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
Don't
that's
do
5
it.
points. It's motion capture and
yeah,
MCU,
that's the thing. Yeah, I've got that in backup. Let's see if I can quickly think of something else.
which is pointless because then I've used like.
Oh
like,
shit!
9 points.
Shit! Got it. He's done it. At the death. At the death.
Oh fuck! Can't think of anything. There must be
Oh yes.
something.
You love to see it.
Okay,
You
time's
absolutely
up.
love to. You just love to see it.
Shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
okay. May,
Huh?
you get it?
Yeah, I think so.
What'd you get?
Soirees Ron Ann is in the Grand Budapest Hotel with Bill Murray, who is in Lost in Translation with Scarlett Johansson, who's in He's Just Not That Into You with Bradley Cooper.
That's such an unexpected route. That's really funny.
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen He's Not That Just Into You, but I'm pretty sure Scarlett Johansson is a love interest for Bradley Cooper in the film. I'm not sure.
Yeah, is he? I feel that sounds right. I haven't seen it either, but it sounds right. Are you gonna check that, Ross?
What was it?
He's just not that into you.
Oh, my microphone. My fucking microphone's gone timber.
What are you Googling right now?
My microphone fell on my Bradley Cooper.
There he
Who?
is. Way.
Oscar Johansson, yeah.
Man, like
I got 3.
I got 4.
Did he actually? Oh, he did the MC
Yeah.
with Brolin, didn't he?
No.
Oh,
yeah,
go on then.
Suarez. Saoirse Ronan's in Little Woman with Timothy Chalamet, who's in Don't Look Up with Jennifer Lawrence, who's in Silver Linings Playbook with Bradley Cooper.
That's exactly what I did.
nice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. That's 4.
Hold on,
Literally
what? That's
right at
3.
the end,
That's
I thought
3.
of it.
Wait, that's 3, Ross.
Wait, hang on. Little Women, Don't Look Up.
Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's 3.
Damn it.
Shouldn't say anything.
Yeah. I get 3. He gets 4 for the same films.
It's because I've put 4 arrows on here for some reason. You know what? It's because I've written "Don't Look Up" as a person, so I've put a 4th arrow.
That'd be a weird. That'd be a weird name.
I'm gonna call my kid "Don't Look Up."
Don't
Named
look
after the greatest film ever made.
All right, let's add up the scores at the end of 5 rounds. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got
Go on
30.
then.
I got 30.
I got 31.
Oh,
Would have been better
the
if
hell?
we got 30. That would have been more funny.
did we all have 2 10 rounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Who did you get? 3
We all got like
3.
3 or 4. I got 2.
Well, that
3s
was-
and a 4.
That was big. That was a wild game.
Wait, no, Leon, that means you lost.
Yeah.
I was trying to get the most links.
To
That's what I was like, oh, I got 31. Shut
be
up,
fair, that's to get the most. Like if you had to get the most links, but you can't. There's no like. If you can't link it by the end, you don't get any links. Like if you had to do the most links, but still finish it by the end of it. That'd be quite hard.
It's a bit
Oh, yeah.
weird for the final round to have the same thing. You just get longer to do it. I thought maybe you should have 2.5 minutes, but try and link 3 actors in a line. So it doesn't matter what
3 actors in the line. What do you mean?
So like, you know how you do this line, whatever it is. So as long as all 3 actors are linked to each other, not like a circle or anything, just like if you were linking, I don't know, Robin Williams, Jack Nicholson, and Gerard Butler, you could do it. Put Jack Nicholson in the middle, and then do it through them like we did before. You know.
That sounds
be impossible,
interesting, but yeah.
I feel like it's very likely to be impossible.
I don't think it is because you can link
No.
an actor to any actor.
Should we do a round right now of it and see if it works?
Yeah, okay.
Should we leave it off the off mic there?
Yeah, let's do it off mic.
Yeah,
That's
go on
in the bonus on
Me and
Patreon.
Matey Drew.
Matty and Ross Drew. So head the what's the word? What's the word? When it's tired, the
Playoff. Yeah.
no, there's a like in game shows, if it's tired, but bonus.
It's a tie.
No, like when you do like an extra round to decide it, there's like a word for it. I don't know.
Side
Oh
up.
well.
Definitely the decider.
What's I don't know.
Leon's just had a stroke, I'm pretty sure.
Think of something to decide it.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's not on mic anyway.
It is on mic right now.
It's right now, but the round isn't.
Whoever can name an actor with the same initials for first name and last name wins.
Jonah Hill and Jennifer Hudson.
No, I meant like the same actor, like the alliterative initial, like J. Jonah Jameson. Like,
Oh, I see.
Oh, J. Jonah Jameson.
no, an actor.
Ronda Rousey, she was in the film.
Oh, yeah. Ronda Rousey, she's Fast and Furious.
Matty wins. That's the game.
Kids, get your popcorn now. Let me tell you the story of the space Viking, Thor Odinson. He was no ordinary man. He was a god. After saving planet Earth for the 500th time, Thor set off on a new journey. When he got in shape, he went from dad bod to god bod. And after all that, he reclaimed his title as the one and only Thor. Oh, spoke too soon.
Jane? The old ex-girlfriend.
What's it been like? 3, 4 years?
8 years, 7 months, and 6 days, give or take.
Am I sensing feelings?
Well, you're right. The only ones who gods care about is themselves. So this is my vow. All gods will die. I just want to say that was very, very impressive what you did back there.
He's just my first bad guy.
You never forget your first. You are not like the other gods that kill. You have something worth fighting for.
Let's see who you are. I take off your disguise. And flick.
Oh, you flipped too hard, damn it!
Should we help him?
And eventually, grape.
I got my WhatsApp.
Thor, Love and Thunder. Thor enlists the help of Valkyrie, Korg, and ex-girlfriend Jane Foster to fight Gore, the God Butcher. Is that his name? Or is God Destroyer? Who intends to make the gods extinct. New Thor film. Taika Waititi back in the director's chair. Same comedic tone. Is it the same successful result? Or was it even a successful result in Ragnarok? I'm not sure. I rewatched it. I didn't like it as much, but I still thought it was funny. But Ross, what are you thinking to the latest installment in the Thor franchise?
So when I first came out of the cinema, I was like, oh, this is good. It's funny. It's just like Ragnarok kind of funny. Then I think thinking about it more, you realize there's actually quite a lot of issues with the movie and quite a lot of things that kind of don't make sense. And and the kind of direction the film's gone in is it's gone so much towards the comedy route that it's just kind of Thor's just a bit stupid in a way now, and that's kind of his character now, the way he acts and stuff. But no, I mean, it was still like enjoyable though. It was still funny, I think, and there's I quite like Gore as well, and Christian Bale does really well. And the visuals of this film as well, so good. And I really like the visuals when they're on like Gore's planet and it's all in black and white, and there's just a few bits of color that you see, like James Hammer, that kind of stuff. But no, it was nice to see Natalie Portman there again and stuff as well. She was really good, and yeah, I mean, apart, as I say, there's a lot of problems as well, like, you know, Korg and Valkyrie. I think at some point you think they're both dead and they're both just not dead, and that's kind of, it takes away from quite a lot of that kind of thing. And the Guardians at the start, I don't think were utilized properly either. They're kind of just, they're only there because he was living with him at the end of Endgame, and that's literally like it's like they just tried to get rid of him as quick as possible. It wasn't really relevant in any way whatsoever. And yeah, so there is a lot of issues which I'm sure a few other people agree with.
It just felt a bit half-assed. That's what I was saying to Matty afterwards. Like there was just I don't know, just because I saw the clip before of Taika Waititi talking about there was like a continuity error in one of the scenes, and it's like, how did you not pick up on that if you were really focusing on editing your film, if you're like properly devoted to it? So that was like a warning sign. And then you watch the film, it just feels it was just kind of stuck together. There wasn't much care, much thought put into it. Just kind of had like a very basic story. A lot of it just relied on, like, there's still funny moments like Ross says, but it was kind of just hinging on those random funny moments that weren't really relevant to the plot, or just the sheer like force of personality of Chris Hemsworth. He was just trying to salvage a lot of these scenes that were, I like the black and white bit as well, but the rest of the film, a lot of the battle scenes are very ugly, especially the first bit. I thought that was just, yeah. There's been controversy about the Marvel visual effects people like being overworked and underpaid and stuff like that, and you kind of feel like that was the end result. Some of the ugliness in some of these sequences. But Mason, what were your first impressions of this new Thor?
Yeah, I was similar to Ross. I think I spoke to him about it after we watched it. We didn't watch it together. We watched it like half hour apart without realizing. But the film was just a bit bland. There's no actual development for anyone except for Natalie Portman's character, and her development is just her dying. But other than that, that's the main difference between like 4, 3, and 4. Thor, oh my god, Thor 4 is that at least Thor has development in the third film, and so does Valkyrie and everything like that. Whereas in this one, they try to do the same, where you'd have a moment where they'd speak to Valkyrie about like all of her sisters being dead and stuff, but it just doesn't really matter. And then they have this storyline. Was that like a storyline of Valkyrie being like a lesbian and stuff as well? That just felt a bit like there for no reason, and it just felt more like a funny little mission than anything else. And I think it was kind of, I can't remember who, no, you said it, Leon, that it was more accessible to kids, this film. And at first I didn't think that, but now looking at it, it is more just of a comedy instead of any kind of actual development or heartfelt story for like an adult to enjoy as well. So yeah, I'm more on the side of you guys, where it's just kind of there. There's not much to it.
And I felt because it was so much a comedy, like when it tried to get serious, the like tonal clashes just really brought the film down. I don't know, like trying to do like a cancer plot, and what I mean when you kind of know that you're dying, what that means for you, and how you try to spend your remaining days, and how you try to fight it and things like that. It's just hard to like access those deeper themes in amongst screaming goats, which were funny, and I laughed every time the goats came back. But it's just a very random thing to just have there in your movie. It was, when was that screaming goat meme? I feel like that was like 10 years ago or something. It's just very random, still funny though. But yeah, just the tonal clashes. I don't know, Matty, did you think that just did it? They just couldn't quite balance it effectively to have some serious plot points in amongst the silly action comedy?
I think the film, unbalanced is a good word, because I think throughout the film you just didn't really know what the it's not like you didn't know where you were going, because you kind of had a vague idea where you're going. You didn't know what the point was of most of the things that happened. And I can get things can be funny and silly, but then if the characters' motives don't really make sense, then just even like little things, just small movements and small actions of the characters don't make a lot of sense, and there hasn't been a lot of thought put in to the film. At least that's the way it feels, as if it's been rushed or something. But I think overly, because obviously the MCU didn't really start off as kids films. It's like kids comics that are now packaged into very realistic, gritty films, like with Iron Man 1 and like even Thor and Captain America, First Avenger. And over the years, they've kind of like progressed and expanded, and they've become quite fanciful. They've become quite fantastical and quite extraordinary, but I don't think that needs to be the trade-off for it just being kind of downright like childish, if that makes sense. I think they could have done quite a compelling story here, because they definitely have like the basis for something that could be really good. But then, as like Ross says, it's just like they like take the first 5 minutes to mop up the mistakes from like the last few films, and it also feels like that Jane Foster wasn't in it in the last few, was kind of hastily written out to like serve the plot points of that film. Now for this film, she's like hastily written back in, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel nice. It doesn't feel fleshed out, and it feels kind of bad. And I think one of my least favorite scenes is with the Guardians of the Galaxy, which is a shame because their two films are like one of the strongest in all of the MCU. But then the way they're put together here, they're all like shouting and being silly and like trying to like be louder than each other, which doesn't really fit with their personalities, not all of them at least, and just like resorting to like drastic measures all the time. And it just feels awful. Kind of feels like, I don't know, I can't really think of an analogy. It's kind of like the UK office versus the US office, but that doesn't really work, so I like the US office. So, but you know what I mean? It just kind of feels like a bunch of toddlers trying to be funny just by shouting and pretending to kill people, but it's just not that funny. And then if it's not that funny, then what's the point of making it funny? Because it's definitely not that serious or like emotionally enthralling.
It is interesting though. Like I think MCU films are better when the villain is someone like Gore, where there's a bit more complexity to just I just want to destroy the world, like Ronan or people like that. I just want to to conquer everything and take over the world and destroy everything. But having like Gore, who's like his faith is like shattered, like he was devoted to this god who then reveals himself to not be the greatest guy, so to speak. And like what it means to like lose your faith in someone, something that you like built your whole life around, and then also the grief that he's suffering with his daughter and trying to bring her back. Like, it's actually an interesting character, but like the film just like isn't really interested in what Christian Bale's doing. Like he's just kind of there. Like it's hard. Like, I wonder what his screen time actually is, but he feels like almost like a really small part of the film. And also it kind of feels like part of a different film in a sense. Again, like the whole like tonal thing. Like, it feels like a villain that belongs in a more serious MCU film. But yeah, if they lent into him more, then some of the like sillier stuff involving Korg or Russell Crowe as Zeus and things like that, I feel like it would have been a more effective film, because he's a really interesting villain. It's Christian Bale. Like, he's basically as good as a performance in the MCU as you're going to get, and as committed as you're going to get with a method actor like him. So yeah, I don't know, Ross, were you a bit disappointed that the villain wasn't utilized more in the film?
Yeah, I think so. And he's a good character. As you say, it's nice to have someone kind of with an actual motive. And I like the introduction for him as well, like the whole first bit with his daughter dying and the kind of reason he loses his faith and stuff. It's a nice like little introduction, but not too much. Just like have a sneak peek at what he is and who he is. But I think it's almost like he wasn't in the film enough to be as effective as he should be. Like, it's obviously, being a Thor movie, it's about Thor and his journey, but I like there's not enough battles with Gore in. And I think as well at the end, when he kind of gives everything up, gives all he's built up for to bring back his daughter, it doesn't feel satisfying either. It feels a bit like weak on the story's behalf, that's the reason kind of the world's saved because of the yet again, the kind of the bad guy turning good, that seems to be quite a common thing going on now, and it's almost like they're running out of ideas for that kind of thing. But yeah, it's especially when you have an actor like Christian Bale as well. You want to see him because he's when he is on the screen, he's one of the best parts of the movie, and I think he just need more of him, more Christian Bale.
I feel like that's the prevailing thing in the MCU at the moment, just like running out of ideas. So they got so much more, obviously, content to mine and comic stories to tell. But like after such an immense climax to the first kind of big story with Thanos and everything, like 10 years building up to that and ending it. Like, I didn't love Endgame, but like you have to say like it was ended very satisfyingly and done very well. So trying to like launch a whole new wider story, introducing new heroes, wherever. It feels like right now it's just not quite the same direction. And these individual films, like you just not having the sense of what you're leading up to is making it hard to stay engaged with this film. I don't know, Mason, where you at with the MCU? Because they're going to keep coming. It is interesting though. Like, the last few films have not been doing like quite as well as you might have expected. Like it's not just automatically just dominating the box office. So maybe there is a bit of Marvel fatigue setting in, but obviously it will still be the number one franchise out there. But what's the state of play of your mind on the MCU at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same. Like since Endgame, I've watched most of the films, I think, but I don't really understand what's going on. And after these films, straight away, I don't actually remember what happens or how they end. Like I had to actually remind myself if Jane Foster dies or not in this, and they seem really forgettable. And like you said, they're not building up towards anything. And it's quite impressive that before they had us hooked for like, what was it, like 15 films or whatever it was to build up to Endgame, probably more than that. Whereas this time, I thought they would take a few films to have just a few fun adventures, and then they would start to build up to this massive villain or this big overarching storyline to connect everything. But we're probably like 6-7 films now since Endgame, and there's just nothing. Like we're not really. They say we're not leading towards anything. I tried to say to Ross that the only thing I can think is that it could be some big like God kind of war thing coming up, because when you watch some of the TV series, which one is it? Is it Moon Knight? That's all about the Egyptian gods. And then obviously we've now just met Zeus and stuff like that. So I'm thinking there could be some sort of connection there. But then it's such a waste because they could have used Christian Bale's character to connect all of that if he's like slaying all these gods. Whereas that was just missed. Like his character's gone and written off now. And that's why it's a problem, I think, at the moment with the MCU, because you have a good villain for about 2 hours and then they're gone. And then you wait to the next film and you don't really care for what's happening because it's not joining on to anything. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting a bit bored, to be honest, with all the films. There's not really much going on. Like you said, the only one that was good recently was probably Spider-Man. And other than that, it's just nothing. So, I don't know. I think they really need to pick up the pace now and start joining these films together. Yeah.
See, I don't even need it to like necessarily be built into something, but it's because they're still trying to make you feel like you're in like this whole bigger like cinematic universe with just like little throwaway bit, like just having the Guardians just there at the start, not really doing anything. It's just kind of, oh yeah, they're in the story. This is where they were at the end of Endgame. Like, so they're trying to still make it feel like a big wide cinematic universe without building towards something. If there was just like a standalone fun superhero film, just find a comic story that's cool, tell that story with a director that has a vision, that's not been hamstrung by the Marvel formula. That's like cool, but they're still trying to make it feel like it's all part of this bigger thing without actually heading towards something. So I don't know. So it's a tricky one, but Matt, I don't know. Where you at with the MCU right now?
I think it's kind of hard to gauge because you don't know if they are going to build up to a big villain. Like you assume they will because that's worked before, so they'll probably just repeat the same format. But it does feel a little bit all over the place. And I feel like in like maybe 20 years from now, we'll look back at like phase 3 was just like the most elite phase, or like the progression from 1, 2, 3. That's like what we'll remember as like being the best of Marvel, and everything else is just kind of like too much now, because I feel like there's now so many people's like superpowers and galactic forces that just cross over, that there's gonna be so many plot points and plot holes. And I feel like already, like with Doctor Strange, realizing how many multiverses, the way that ended with how many multiverses there could be and all the different powers, and like you can't do anything now with like without wiping out a galaxy by accident. It just feels a bit much. And I think with each film, it feels like there's not as much foresight as there was when they started the MCU. They seem to just kind of do things willy-nilly, like getting rid of Jane Foster and then bringing her back. It always happens quite quick, and then they get rid of people quite quick, and then they kill people. And I think as well, like now Thor having like this kind of adopted daughter now, like, do you think she'll actually make it into the films if Thor comes back? Because it says Thor will return. Do you reckon she'll be grown up? Like, why does she have powers, basically? Or will they just write her out of it somehow? Or she'll still be a child, but she'll be fighting in back. Like, I don't know what they're going to do with it, but it wouldn't surprise me if they just wrote her out for no reason, other than people come to see Thor or not to see her, basically. So it feels quite unsteady. And hopefully they kind of take some of the, I assume this film will take a bit of heavy criticism, but you can kind of see what they wanted to do, because like things like Blackadder, like they kind of like toe the line between comedy and tragedy quite well, and then at the end it becomes really, really somber, so you're no longer laughing, and then it really hits you heavy. But I think in this film it just kind of missed, because the funny wasn't funny and the tragedy wasn't that tragic, so it kind of just missed that arrow. So I don't know. It could be good, but I think the best days of like MCU are kind of behind it because the simplicity's gone. And kind of like Infinity War and Endgame was like the max saturation I reckon you could have had for characters, and then to actually like kind of like care about them, if that makes sense.
I still think there's value in this film, even though I'm not like eager to like rewatch or anything. Like I said, as like a kid's film, it's just like a vibrant adventure, lots of colors. And the black and white bit is like legit good as like a visual, an alternative like visual approach to an MCU scene. Like that whole sequence is really well done. I think that's pretty much the best part of the film. But yeah, there's still value to what's going on in Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm not like completely like against it. That's in so much. Like it was never boring at any point in the whole 2 hours. I was still like entertained throughout. It was just a bit like no, it all felt a bit inessential, I guess. But I guess it's just hard to divorce my feelings about like the MCU more widely when outside of the actual like individual film. But any more thoughts on Thor: Love and Thunder? Positive, negative, May?
I think because we kind of have just slated it for about 10-15 minutes. I think there are parts of it that I do really enjoy, and I feel like they could be really good, like the bit where he kind of gave all of the children, like for a limited time only, the power of Thor. At first I was like, this is dumb, and then I was like, actually no, it's kind of cool. Like it is quite fun and it's quite interesting. It's like a novel idea that like when you get to this level of like seriousness that's like been done, you can start to have fun with it, and I think that was quite a fun thing. But then also I think with the amount of magic that happens in these films, it's hard to like rationalize what you can and can't do, so you just have to have fun with it. So maybe it's a good thing that they don't make sense.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool sequence. Anyone else? Positive, negative?
Yeah, so when I first left the cinema, I did enjoy it. Like it's funny, and you can tell it's got Taika Waititi's stamp on it as well. It's just a bit of fun. And I think although the MCU feels a bit directionless at the moment, I'm sure they will build up to something. It's like, I mean, realistically, before it took like 23 films or whatever to build up, or something like that, to build up to Infinity War or whatever it was. And you know, like at the moment with those characters going, they're having to introduce those new characters as well. And I'm sure like they will build up to something eventually, now that kind of other characters are here that have arrived, and like the Eternals have arrived, and Shang-Chi and stuff, they've all arrived, and I think you've probably got to get through their standalones and whatnot as well. Especially like you can tell there's a multiverse going on. Something's going to build eventually, but I think just at the moment, at this point, it all feels a bit directionless, and everything feels a bit, it just feels a bit like nothingy in the grand scheme of things, especially after Endgame and Infinity War. So I'll I'll have patience with Marvel, but it's just I think because at the moment they're spitting out so much content, so many movies and TV shows, it's hard to keep up with as well. Yeah, I'll keep with it though. I've got hope.
I think that's the
Yeah.
what is it? Black Panther. That's the next one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Lord
Black
knows.
Panther.
Lord knows what that's going to be like with all the shit that's been going down there, Mason.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, it's hard to actually judge this film by itself because I just have an opinion on the whole MCU just being a bit boring at the moment. But if this film was within a whole storyline that was building towards something, and this was just a fun little side mission that was going on, it would be better. So probably was just being a bit too harsh on the film, really. Like, yeah, I mean, I spoke to Julian as soon as I watched it. I said it was funny, it was good, not as good as the third film, but other than that, it's still more than watchable. But like I said, I think you always look back at this whole period and just think it's just a bit bland. There's not really much going on. But yeah, you got, what is it? Is it Black Panther 2 coming out next? Where who's it? Black Panther's sister. She was refusing to get the COVID vaccine, wasn't she, for a while on set? So she was like delayed filming and stuff like that as well.
Yes, that whole production sounds like a bit of a shambles. All right, that's Thor: Love and Thunder. At Corona Cinema on Instagram, at LiamWait98 on Twitter, Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, Stitcher, Podbean. Next episode, Bullet Train was meant to come out, but it's been delayed, but we're still doing Runaway Train films. Got Runaway Train versus Unstoppable. And we're doing the biggest film of the year, Top Gun Maverick.